Move on now. More on the fallout from the JK Rowling death threats from Wednesday's Telegraph, Steve. And I know we've covered this a couple of times, but this is a new development, isn't it?
Yes, this is the chocolate novelist Joanne Harris, who's also the head of the... it's not the Guild, is it? It's the authors... It's the support group for authors, basically.
Society of Authors.
Societies of
their
Authors.
union.
Yeah.
It's the biggest, largest writers' union.
Yes.
We need a time... I'm from Mansfield. I can't do foreign accent.
But when you said the chocolate author, it sounded like she's an author made of chocolate. So
I've not Googled it, but I presume not.
The author of Chocolat. Yeah.
Let's do the timeline. So, Salman Rushdie gets stabbed for writing a thing. That's basically what that is. Let's remember that. So, JK Rowling tweets in support. Then someone replies to her tweet saying, "You're next." She then tweets Twitter support saying, "Can I get some support, please?" So far...
Twitter then doesn't, by the way. Then Twitter says, no, we're just going to...
They're fine with that.
Yeah,
fine
death threat's fine.
That sort of death threat is fine, as long as it's towards the people we don't like, basically.
Exactly.
So far, so horrible. And then this Joanne Harris then does a Twitter poll to asking fellow authors, have you ever received a death threat, credible or otherwise? The options were yes, hell yes, no, never, or show me, damn it. Which is taking this death threat very lightly. And I think at the very least, it's poor form to take someone else's death threat lightly.
Definitely is, but she denied it thereafter.
And then changed it to have a different poll.
Yeah.
Basically, I mean, at the same time, though, people are then saying she should lose work because of this tweet. Well, if you don't like cancel culture, you have to not like it when it's...
No, Steve, but I don't think it's necessarily that. She's the manager, that she's in charge of the Society of Authors, and her job is to protect and defend authors.
Which she hasn't done.
This is
denied doing, effectively.
Yeah, but I think this is less cancel culture, more she's just really bad at her job, isn't it?
No, it's bad at her job when it doesn't fit her ideology.
Yeah, I mean, look, she has a track record of tweeting out really ideologically driven and skewed perspectives on this particular issue. And, you know, there have been statements here from members of the management committee at the Society of Authors since 2020, 2021, saying, can we put out a statement in solidarity with JK Rowling, who has enough death threats, as she said, to paper her house with them? It's continual.
It's a big house.
It's a massive house.
Huge house.
But this is the point. Like, this is one of the most successful novelists of our time, who is subject to all sorts of threats. The Society of Authors should be putting out a
They should have done it 2 years ago.
Should have done it ages ago. So, you know, it's less about cancelling someone for her opinions and more that the position she holds.
So what I think I'm hearing is she should lose the job for not doing it well with the absence of supportive tweets, rather than should be punished for a tweet that we don't like by losing the work. I think there is a distinction there. Right. One of them is, you're not good at your job, you shouldn't have your job, rather than, oh, I don't like the tone of your tweet, you should be fired.
I agree with you. And JK Rowling called her out also for not being good at her job. But the two other authors, Rachel Rooney and Gillian Phillip, both also were not defended by the Society of Authors, again, because of their views on gender ideology.
Well, the Gillian Phillip case is very interesting because she actually tweeted at the Society of Authors to remind them of the constitution on their website, which talks about the importance of defending the freedom of speech of their authors, and she was a member, and when she pointed this out, they blocked her.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is not...
So basically, a bunch of authors are now quitting. Some are saying that they're going to fight the board basically to get this woman to lose her job because she's not very good at it.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the gist of the story. I just want to add a slight... This was in the Telegraph, the version we're reading. This was actually pointed out by someone called Ian Leslie on Twitter, but he pointed out the Guardian's version of this. Their example of transphobia from JK Rowling, and I'd just like to read this out.
Amazing.
This is from her thing. They said, I don't know if you saw this. She said, this is their quoting her. If sex isn't real, the lived reality of women globally is erased. And then they wrote, have hurt many people and whatever. So that's the best...
So they quoted that as an example of transphobia?
As their best example of... You know, like when people say, JK Rowling's transphobic, and then everybody goes, well, just name me one thing that's transphobic that she's ever done, and then they never do.
So that's the best they can
But this is their idea of, like... So if sex isn't real, the lived reality of women globally is erased. Have hurt many people around the world, trans people around the world as well.
So, in other words,
that's the best that the Guardian could do.
In other words, they can't find anything transphobic
not at all.
to quote because it doesn't exist.
Yes.